Welcome to the study. This feels like we're inviting people into a cult. We're trying something new type of videos here to go along with our usual that we do. We figured there were so many comments after we had started doing the YouTube videos about the different types of bourbon that people love or like or anything like that. And honestly, since I'm also new to bourbon and labels, we figured what we'll do for each one of these videos is just literally pick a bottle and we are gonna do a little tasting, describe what we feel like.
We're kind of giving you quick facts about whatever we're tasting, and then also so that you can start to build a repertoire of what fits into your palette, what fits into your price point, like did we think it was worth the money, you know, that sort of thing, as we start to get into the like higher end bottles. Like, well, was that worth $600? Maybe not, we don't know.
So maybe this will help you when you're in the weeds, in the shelves.
Or if you're in the shelves in the store and you see like 4,000 bottles and you're like, how do I possibly choose? Well, here's some places you can start based on what you like.
Yeah. So what are we doing? What are we doing first?
I like how you always turn to me like I have all the answers, but in this case I do. We thought that it was appropriate to start these new shots videos with our number one Best Buy pick, the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. We've used it in a lot of cocktails. We've used it in a lot of cocktails, but we haven't really like just straight up tasted it for you. So that's what we're going to do right now to give you a little bit of information about the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. It is the white label. As you can see, they did recently change this label a bit. The old one was completely white. This one has a little green stripe on the new bottles, but it's all the same stuff. So whether you see it, as long as it's white and says 100 proof, that is the one we're talking about. Also, this is made from Heaven Hill. So it's a Heaven Hill brand. That's the distiller that makes Evan Williams. And it's this mash bill that they use for the Evan Williams white label is 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. So it's a relatively low rye, high corn content.
That's going to be important too, because we've learned throughout the videos, as you'll start to see those, that what are like some people like the higher corn, some people like the lower corn, some people, you know, and so I think those are important because not all bourbon is going to have that mash bill readily available, but some of them do. So that will help inform your decision. You could be, you know, oh, this is a higher corn one. I know I really enjoy this one. Let me try this one.
Or if you're like, I love rye, you know, try Basil Hayden's, try Hudson Baby, those sorts of ones that are higher in rye content. I seem to notice as I've been tasting across the board, I prefer something in like a 72 to 78% corn range. Anything more than that is like too corn. Anything lower than that starts to get a little too spicy for me.
Someday I'll get there. Someday. So when doing a tasting, just general tasting, you just pour a little bit in one of these guys, right?
Yeah, these are the Glencairn glasses. They are ideal and suggested for whiskey and bourbon and tasting of most spirits. Because they have that little small area at the top and the wider area at the bottom. So what that does is it concentrates the smell and the nose as you're smelling it, as you're sipping it. It's sort of directed straight at your face.
And an important thing to know when going in for that first sip, because I always make this mistake, is don't go in too deep and both ways, both nose and breath.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you leave your mouth open while if you just straight up sniff it, you're going to get a lot more of the ethanol, a lot more of the alcohol like scent, and your eyes are going to start to water. So what you really want to do is like keep your face open while you're starting to sniff it. And then, so what are you smelling with this one?
I get a little bit of caramel.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's
sweet caramel.
It's Evan Williams. It's got those like classic bourbon flavors, caramel, vanilla. But I also get a little bit of like a peanut brittle sort of smell with this as well.
I was gonna say, I don't know why in my brain I always associate this with a cherry for some reason.
Yeah, it could have cherry flavors like stone fruits and stuff. Again, it's all personal opinion. You should take like a little sip to kind of get your face ready, and then you can like really taste it on the second or third.
Yeah, because I was going to say that every time I get that first tip, it's like, man, the sensors are burned out, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so the first sip sort of like prepares your face. You get that like initial.
Get ready, brain. I'm about to poison you.
Get ready, brain. You sort of like go like, where does it hit when you take that sip? for me, I get it kind of like mid-back. If you're like, where do you get the little bite? Where do you get that little hug?
Yeah,
the Kentucky hug is what they call
like
it.
a little kiss on the back of my tongue.
Yeah, and for me, the Evan Williams is like towards the back. Now, some of them that we've tried are like straight up on the front end. You're like, whoa, just kicks you in the teeth. But I like this one because it's a little bit more subtle. It's a little bit more smooth, even though the proof is a bit higher than most are in the like 92 to 94 proof.
Yeah.
So this one's a little stronger, but I feel like it's a little bit more mellow.
It's got that, like you said, that burn, but it's not like super intense burn. It doesn't burn away that flavor.
The Evan Williams White is a great buy. The 1.75 liter is $28. So like you can't beat that price point for the value that you're getting out of this bottle. But I would say that compared with some of the other like slightly higher range bourbons, I don't think there's as long of a finish from this one as you get from some others. Like this one's sort of like straightforward, hits you with the caramel vanilla, and then it's like gone pretty quick.
Yeah. That's why I keep sipping, because I love that you have that initial that, for me, the kiss is on the back of the tongue, but the flavors are kind of resting that in that midsection to the front.
Yeah, and I always say I love the like with some, when we get into some other ones, you get sort of the like, as you're breathing out, you still continue to get more developed, distinct flavors. But this one is straightforward, all purpose.
I always think it's an important thing to do this with any bourbon or really, I mean, I guess you could do it with any liquor, but bourbon specifically, because this will also inform you in terms of, okay, is this, what kind of, if I want to do an old fashioned, am I going to do it with, am I just doing the classic bitters? Am I going to use some of the cocoa bitters? Am I going to use orange bitters? It'll give you kind of a sense with that, and also what kind of a snack maybe this would go with. Again, this is just such a solid bet.
It's
such
delight.
a good to have on the shelf.
It's like the old reliable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's never gonna blow your socks off, but it's never gonna let you down. It's like at the end of the day, if you're just like, man, I had a rough day.
Yeah.
I need an old fashioned or something to get me through. You can never go wrong with this bottle.
So something you also can do as well is just is hit your little sample just with a little, like an eyedropper of water inside of it, and just swirl that around a little bit, and that'll kind of mellow out that burn a little bit, and you will get, those flavors will be a lot more present to kind of distinguish from. I like just drinking it straight on, honestly.
Me too.
At this point.
I don't even do over ice most of the time, because I feel like the flavors are warm.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to be sipping something neat, over ice sort of downplays a lot of the warmth. So just get your little Glencairn glasses and get rolling.
Yeah. So there you have it. That is the Evan Williams 100 proof. This, again, Jill said what you could find for around $28.
This one is 1.75 liters.
Yes, this is the big one.
The regular standard bottle, the 750 ml, that one retails about $15.
Yeah, but
so, again, a bargain.
Yeah, if you do this with bourbon that you buy at home, I mean, obviously, I'm a big shop local. We're both that way. So if you are in an area that has some distilleries that offer bourbon, I'd love to hear about local flavors. I know we're always curious to try something new. And again, Jill has tried way more than I have. But
give us some suggestions.
Yeah.
Give us some shout outs. If you have something from your hometown that you love, tell us about it. We'll order it online and we'll test it out.
Also, if you're just trying this one, I want to know what you think of this one too. So we have the Twitter. We've got @the Bourbon Study. You can shoot us an email, thebourbonstudy@gmail.com. You can leave comments right here on YouTube. And of course, you can head over to theampliverse.com, where you can learn more about the Bourbon Study and all the shows and content that we produce as part of the Ampliverse. That's it, I guess.
Great. We'll see you the next time.
Happy drinking. I see what you're doing.
The Bourbon Study.
Okay, hold on. Take two. We'll see you. And with that...
This is the first one.
Yeah, this is terrible. This is my first sip of liquor, too. It's
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Thanks for joining us here.
We'll see you next time on the Bourbon Study.
Just letting you say it.